Hi everyone, it's Nicole, and today I'm bringing you a TBR video. In the month of March, there are a lot of readathons that are happening that I want to participate in. One of them is the Indigenous Authors Readathon, and that is going on from March until August, and they have one book per month where they're going to have a live show. And that was created and is hosted by Bethany over at Beautifully Bookish Bethany and Michelle over at Thor Wants Another Letter. And the book for March is going to be Heartbeat Braves by Pamela Sanderson, and the live show for that is going to be March 25th. And the next readathon is going to be March Mystery Madness, and that is a month-long readathon. This readathon is hosted by a number of different booktubers. Don't worry, I will link all of them in the description box below for you. And there isn't a bingo board, but there is a prompt board. I have my cheat sheet here. The first prompt is single, and for that one I'm reading Verity by Colleen Hoover. The reason why I chose Verity is because it is a one-word title, so that's how I interpreted single. The next prompt is number, and for that one I'm reading November 22nd, 1963 by Stephen King. The next prompt is person, and for that one I'm reading Shakespeare's Landlord by Charlene Harris. Shakespeare was a person, so that's how I chose for that prompt. The next prompt is place, and for that one I'm going to be reading the Mystery Bookshop series by V.M. Burns. I have read the first book in this series. The plot is murder, but it was, I think, 2 years ago, so I do want to reread the first one and continue on with the series. And the mystery bookshop that the main character owns in this series is a place. The next prompt is weather, and for that one I'm reading Hold Your Breath by Katie Ruggles. This one is a romantic suspense that takes place in the Rockies. There is some harsh weather there, and the female main character in this book is described as a hurricane. The next prompt is color, and for that one I'm reading Death with a Dark Red Rose by Julia Buckley. The next prompt is space, and for that one I'm doubling up and reading November 22nd, 1963 by Stephen King. The reason why I chose space is because there is a time travel element in this book, and I just felt that kind of fit very well. And there is a bonus book or a group book for this readathon, and that is The Quick and the Thread by Amanda Lee. The next readathon I'm going to be participating in is Are You Afraid of the Dark? And that is kind of like a pop culture mini round. Is created by Whitney over at Books With Me and Lauren over at Reading Parent. And that is only going to be a week long. It's going to be March 14th through the 20th. And there's not a bingo board, which I'm very sad because they create some awesome bingo boards, but there is prompts. The first one is Animal on the cover, and for that one I'm reading If Walls Could Talk by Julia Blackwell. As you can see on the cover, there is a little Irish setter. The next one is historical fiction, and for that one I'm reading What Angels Fear by C.S. Harris. I have read this book before. I read it in 2016, but I do want to continue on with this series, so I kind of want it fresh in my head. The next prompt is red cover, and for that one I'm doubling up and reading If Walls Could Talk by Julia Blackwell. The next prompt is book you would like to be a character in, and for that one I'm doubling up on a book that I picked in the previous readathon, and that one is the Mystery Bookshop series by V.M. Burns. I would really love to own a bookshop. That's actually like one of my bucket list goals, or for when I retire or whatever. I really would like to own a bookshop. And the last prompt for this readathon is a social media wreck. And for that one, I'm doubling up and reading The Quick and the Thread by Amanda Lee. And the last readathon I'm going to be talking about is Middle Grade March. This is a month-long readathon happening all month long. And the hosts for this are Krista over at Books and Jams, Amanda at The Curly Reader, and Katie at Life Between Words. Now, I'm very loosely participating in middle grade March. There are some middle grade books that I do want to get to, but they don't necessarily fit the prompts that this readathon has. I'm going to go over the prompts just so you're aware, but then I'm just going to be telling you the books that I'm hoping to read this month. The first prompt is read a book with a silhouette on the cover. The next one is book with strong family elements. The next one is book featuring travel or adventure. The next prompt is read a fairy tale retelling or read a book with fairy tale elements. And the last prompt is read a book that was published in the decade you were born. There is a group book for this as well that I'm not going to be reading, but if you're interested, it is called The Brave by James Bird. So the middle grade books that I'm hoping to read this month are the rest of the Series of Unfortunate Events series by Lemony Snicket. I read a few last year and I just want to finish this series off. I think I only read 4 books last year, so I do have quite a bit to read, but it's the Austere Academy, the Eratz Elevator, I have no idea how to say that word, The Vile Village, The Hostile Hospital, The Carnivorous Carnival, The Slippery Slope, The Grim Grotto, The Ultimate Peril, and The End. The next series I want to read is the Tristan Strong series by Kwame Mabalia, and I hope I'm saying that name right. If I butchered that name, please correct me in the comments. But the first book in that series is Tristan Strong Punches a Hole in the Sky, and the second one is Tristan Strong Destroys the World. I just love these covers so much. And the last book I want to read for middle grade March is Amari and the Night Brothers by B.B. Alston. So those are all the books that I want to read in the month of March. I have a very ambitious TBR. I don't know if I'm going to get to all these books, but wish me luck. All of the readathons and their creators and the hosts and their announcement videos are going to be linked in the description box for you. A lot of information is going to be down there for you, so don't forget to check that out. Don't forget to like my video if you did, comment below, and subscribe to my channel. You can follow me on all the social media platforms. The links will be in the description box below. I'll see you next time, avid readers.